Good morning, students. Today I am here with fourth part of chapter Globalization and Indian Economy. As in previous three parts, we discussed about detail about WTO, globalizations, international trade and commerce. So here we are going to study about the impact of globalization in India. As already we discussed, Indian economy liberalized in 1991 because the trade barrier removed from international trade. That is why during last 30 years, globalization of the Indian economy have a long way. It has been effect on the lives of people. This globalization affected to the life of the people. During this period, the globalization and greater competition among producers, both local and foreign producers, has been an advantage to consumers, particularly the well-off section in the urban area. There is a greater choice before these consumers. So in urban area, the people those who are economically well off, they have lot of choice in market, and they enjoy improved quality and a lower price of several products. So because of the globalization, they have lot of choice in market, and they are getting goods in reasonable price. As a result, these people today enjoy much higher standard of living than possible earlier. So because of this globalization and because of availability of goods in market, the people are enjoying the higher standard of living. So among producer and workers, the impact of globalization had not been uniform. The impact of this globalization is not uniform among producer and consumers. Firstly, MNC have increased their investment in India over the last 20 years. In fact, India is a good market because of its population. That is why India is a hub for the MNCs. Okay. So, since the last 20 years, the MNCs are investing in India and it is beneficial for them. MNCs have been interested in industries such as, what are the MNCs industries in India? Maximum they are engaged in cell phones, automobiles, electronics, soft drink, fast food, or services such as banking in urban areas. So, here is a good market for MNCs. That is why they are investing in cell phones first, automobiles, electronics, soft drinks, fast food, or services such as banking in urban areas. So, dear, mostly these are produced and manufactured by MNCs. So this product has a large number of well-off buyers. Who is the buyer of this product? The well-off people, the economically well-off people. So in this industry and services, new jobs have been created. So in this industry, there is a opportunity of job. Also for the local companies supplying raw material, and this is good for the supplying of raw material for the local people. And government is also attracting to the MNCs. For example, Government of India had given special facilities to the MNCs, that is called SEZS, Special Economic Zones. Means in this special economic zone, government invite to foreign companies for investment and for foreign investment. What is foreign investment? Already we discussed. So in recent years, the central and the state government in India are taking special steps to attract foreign companies to invest in India. So in recent year, the government of India as well as state government, they all are attracting to MNCs to for investment. Okay, industry zones called special economic zones. So where these MNCs are functioning, that area is known as special economic zones. They have world-class facilities. So in this special economic zone, government of India is providing world-class facilities like 24-hour electricity, proper water supply, good roads, transport, storage, recreational, and educational facilities. Except that companies who set up production units in these SEs, special economic zones, do not have to pay tax for initial period of 5 years. So government of India exempting them the tax from electricity and water for first 5 years. Because if a MNC comes in India, it brings a lot of economy, it brings a lot of job opportunity. That is why the government of India is providing and inviting to the MNCs and providing world-class facilities. So this is called SEZS, Special Economic Zones. So in these special economic zones, there are world-class facilities like 24-hour electricity, proper water supply, better road, better transport, storage facilities, recreational facilities, educational facilities, and except that for initial period, government is exempting them tax from electricity and water. So this is called SEZS, Special Economic Zone. So the aim of these SEZS is to invite foreign companies. Secondly, several of the top Indian companies have been able to benefit from the increased competition. Our top companies, they are also getting benefit from the competitions. They have invested in newer technology and production methods and raised their production standards. Some have gained from successful collaboration with foreign companies. Moreover, globalization has enabled some large Indian companies to emerge as multinational themselves. So today, a large number of Indian company became the MNCs like the Tata Motors Automobiles, Infosys IT, Rainbexy manufacture medicines, Asian Paints, Sundaram Fasteners, Nuts and Bolts are some Indian companies which are spreading their operational worldwide. So today, Indian companies are also MNCs. They are engaged in manufacturing various parts of the world. Among them, the main MNCs of India are first Tata Motors, Automobiles, Infosys, IT, Rainbexy, Medicines, Asian Paints, Sundaram Fasteners, Nuts and Bolts. These are some Indian companies which are spreading their operational worldwide. So because of this MNC, our companies, our manufacture unit are also manufacturing abroad. Globalization has also created new opportunities for companies providing service, particularly those involving IT. Because of the globalization, it providing better service for information technology. As we discussed an example, the Indian company produced a magazine for the London-based company and designed in Delhi, then sent by air to London and payment got by banking system. So this is called the IT sector. So the globalization process is playing an important role to develop the globalization, to develop the manufacturing units. So the technology is playing a very important role. Yes, batteries, capacitors, plastic toys, tires, dairy product and vegetables are some example of industries where the small manufacturers have been hit hard due to competitions. In our country, the small scale industries, those who are engaged in manufacturing batteries, capacitors, plastics, toys, tires, dairy products and vegetable oil are some example of industry where the producers are hit hard due to the competition. Several of the units have shut down, rendering many workers jobless. Because of the MNCs, the manufacture of batteries, capacitors, plastic toys, they are suffering in our country. The small industry in India employs the largest number of workers in the country next only to agriculture. Because the maximum employment is in small scale industry. 20 million people in our country are engaged in small scale industry. But because of the globalization, these small scale industry are hit hard because they are not able to compete in international markets. So the globalization playing very important role. In many ways it is beneficial, but in many ways it is also harmful for our economy because in small scale industry 20 million people are engaged And these small scale industries are being hit by the MNCs because the quality of MNC is better than these small scale industries. So this is a negative point. Second, the competition and uncertain employment. One of the important thing in MNCs, there is high competition because the MNCs come with latest technology. So when the MNCs are coming here with latest technology, our manufacturing units, our indigenous unit are not able to compete with them because of poor technology. This is again very harmful. Okay, globalization and the pressure of competitions have substantially changed the lives of workers. Faced with growing competition, most employers these days prefer to employ work flexibility. This means that orders jobs are no longer secure. In fact, the jobs are not secure in MNC. Large MNCs in the garment industry in Europe and America ordered their products from Indian exporters. So these large MNC with worldwide network look for the cheapest goods in order to maximize their profit. To get these large orders, Indian garment exporters try to hard to cut their own cost. In fact, the MNCs, their rates are very cheap in many matters, particularly in the garments. These large MNC with worldwide network look for the cheapest goods in order to maximize their profit. That is why to get these large orders, Indian garment exporters try hard to cut their own cost, as cost of raw material cannot be reduced. Exporters try to cut labor cost, where earlier the factory used to employ workers on a permanent basis. Now they employ workers only on a temporary basis, so that they do not have to pay workers for the whole year. Workers also have to put in very long working hours and working right shift on a regular basis. In fact, the MNCs are exploiting to workers. They are taking long hours. Wages are low, and workers are forced to work overtime to make both ends meet. And they are giving very low wage and taking a lot of work. While this competition among the garment exporters has allowed the MNCs to make large profit, workers are denied their fair share of benefit brought about by globalization. So what happening? The people those are working in the garment exporters, they are not getting benefit even the MNCs are not providing better wage. So as a result, large number of workers they are working very hard, but the return is not very satisfactory. The struggle for a fair globalization. So here is a requirement, and it's the request of the poor countries that there should be fair globalizations. Okay, globalization is now reality. The question is how to make globalization more fair. Fair globalization would create opportunity for all and also ensure that the benefit of globalization are shared better. Fair globalization means whatever the benefit, it should be equally shared among small scale industries and large scale industries. But in many places, small scale industries are being hit. So here the government can play a major role by making this possible. Its policy must protect the interest not only of rich and the powerful, but all the people in the country. Government can make a formulated policy where the government can protect the interest of the poor people. Otherwise, the powerful companies, the powerful MNCs, they are getting benefit. For example, a large number of Chinese MNCs are in our country. They are getting huge benefit from India. But now, because of the recent incident, the government of India restricting to the MNCs of China. You have read about some of the possible steps that the government can take. For instance, the government can ensure that labor laws are properly implemented and the workers get their rights. In fact, there is no labor law in MNCs. मल्टीनेशनल कंपनी में जो लोग काम कर रहे हैं लेबर लॉ नहीं है दे आर वर्किंग आवर्स आर लॉन्ग एंड देयर वेज इज लेस it can support small producers to improve their performance till the time they become strong enough to compete. If necessary, the government can use trade and investment barriers it may negotiate at the WTO for fair rules. It can also align with other developing countries within smaller interests to fight against the domination of developed countries in the WTO. In fact, as you know, the WTO there are more than 160 countries and there is no any trade barrier among the countries of WTO. But the developed country have the special power here because the developed country are properly not supplying their goods to Indian to poor countries. They have some restriction अपने व्यापार पर उन्हें restriction लगा रखे हैं. बट द थर्ड वर्ल्ड के जो पुअर कंट्रीज हैं उनकी मार्केट को उन्होंने ओपन कर रखा है. दैट इज वाई द ग्लोबलाइजेशन शुड बी फेयर मीन्स द डेवलप्ड कंट्री एंड डेवलपिंग कंट्री शुड शेयर equal right. But in this WTO, the developed country have more right. In the past few years, massive campaigns and representation by people's organizations have influenced important decisions relating to trade and investment at the WTO. This has demonstrated that people also can play an important role in the struggle for fair globalization. So, in many parts of the world, people are demonstrating against MNCs. They are demanding that the globalization should be fair and all the countries should be benefited equally. Otherwise, under the norms of WTO, only the major power and powerful countries of Europe are beneficial. That is why there is a demand from the third world countries. The globalization and the benefit of globalization should be shared equally among all countries. Now come towards the end of the chapter. In this chapter, we looked at the present phase of globalization. We discussed about the globalization. Globalization is the process of rapid integration of countries. What is globalization? It is the process of rapid integration of countries. This is happening through greater foreign trade and foreign investment. What is foreign trade and foreign investment? We discussed a lot. MNCs are playing a major role in the globalization process. Who is playing main role in the globalization process? MNC. More and more MNCs are looking for location around the world that are cheap for their production. So more and more MNCs, they are looking the area where they can earn more profits. As a result, production is being organized in complex way. Technology, particularly IT, has played a big role in organizing production across countries. So today, information technology is playing very important role in the field of globalization. In addition, liberalization of trade and investment has facilitated globalization by removing barriers to trade and investment. So because of the liberalization, the countries removed the trade barrier. And when the trade barrier removed, it provided facilities to MNC. At the international level, WTO has put pressure on developing countries to liberalize trade and investment. As we told you, WTO has put pressure on developing countries to liberalize trade and investment. That is why the poor country opened their market and removed the trade barrier. While globalization has benefited well of consumers and also producers with skill, no doubt, it is also benefiting to the producers as well as to the skilled labor, education and wealth. Many small producers and workers have suffered as a result of the rising competition. No doubt, a large number of small-scale industries they are hit hard by this globalization. So fair globalization would create opportunities for all and also ensure that the benefit of globalization are shared better. So there is need of fair globalization between poor countries and rich countries so that all will get share better. So this is the globalization and the Indian economy. So the liberalization in Indian economy introduced in 1991 and that after the trade barrier removed and we joined WTO. And after the liberalization of Indian economy, the trade trend develop and change in our country and our MNC and our big companies, they are engaged in manufacturing units in various parts of the world. So this is called their globalizations. And rest tomorrow I will send you assignments. Thank you.